For the past couple years, maybe since COVID, I feel like the video game industries in general only gets talked about when it comes to negativity. The downfall of AAA games, massive layoffs, studios shutting down, and the constant push for AI. And it may feel like it's all doom and gloom from here, but I don't think it's the case, and I want to talk about the positives in this industry and why you should be hopeful about its future. Hello, I'm Xavier, now let's get to it. In 2026, games have never been more accessible. Like, there's so many platforms where you can buy and play a game, you know? That's without counting the huge number of free-to-play games that exists. Just on your phone, you get to play hundreds of thousands of games, and most of them are free. Of course, like me, you may not be a fan of it, because a lot of them are cash grabs and don't respect you as a consumer, but that's not the case for all of them. Just to name a few of the gems on the App Store and Play Store, we have Fallout Shelter, which is a pretty cool colony management game. We have the Monument Valley trilogy, considered to be like the best puzzle series on the mobile market. I had never played them, but I heard they're really cool. We have, if you want to play games that you love on PC or console, there is Stardew Valley, there's Terraria, there's Minecraft that I've had great mobile port, and they're pretty cheap if you compare them to their console or PC version. Now, if you're looking for like a serious gaming setup, your big boy setup, buying a gaming console is fairly easy these days. Like, I'm not saying you have to buy a PS5 Pro. You could get a base PS5 used or an Xbox Series X. You could even get an Xbox Series S. That's what I bought my girlfriend. She's had a blast with it. And if you don't care about next gen, you could buy a used Switch. These days you can find the Switch Lite for $100 on the marketplace. And same thing goes for the PS4 and the Xbox One. I don't want to lie to you guys, for PC gaming you may want to wait a little bit until prices adjust. If you have the budget, you could buy a pre-built, which are not as pricey as building one yourself because the RAM was already there before the RAM shortage. If you really don't want to buy a console because you don't have the place or the budget for it, you could just buy a controller and use cloud gaming on your phone, tablet, or TV. I haven't really used cloud gaming. I've heard it's way better than it was like 5 years ago. There's the Xbox Cloud Gaming, there's GeForce Now or Luna, and I'd be curious to know what you think about it. Now, in my opinion, we've never been in a better era to start playing video games. There's so many to choose from. We get to see at least 50 new games every day with fresh ideas that blend genres or push one further. You have to look at indie games. I know AAA photorealistic games made in Unreal Engine can be attractive, but the price that comes with it sometimes isn't. Some of the best and most popular games of the last 15 years have been indies. We've seen games like Hollow Knight Silksong beat wishlisting records. Schedule 1 was made by a solo dev and sold more than 8 million copies. And I'm just citing a couple from 2025. The Binding of Isaac was one of the most important games of all time. Not because it created a genre, it didn't, but because it opened the path for so many games that needed this concept to make their game stand out. Starting over a run that is completely different from the previous one not only is so thrilling, but is also less tedious for the player. We're also observing a great deal of games breaking the fourth wall, but I won't tell you about them because that would ruin the punch. There is a huge amount of retro-inspired games like Sea of Stars, Bloodstained, or Proteus, which are literal love letters to their homogen. I'm also really happy about the fact that so many countries now are making games. It's not just North America, Western Europe, or Japan that are number one. China, South Korea, India, South Africa, and Indonesia are all producing AA games and AAA quality games without the absurd cost of making and the investors looking over them. You can see the freedom and the passion in games like Black Myth Wukong, Terra Nil, or A Space for the Unbound. I've been loving just buying games that caught my attention on Steam, that I've seen a trailer of, or that was recommended on YouTube, either on sale or because the base price is so cheap. And if you don't like it, at least you've tried something new. You understand yourself better as a player, and you haven't destroyed your bank account. Speaking about cheap games, these days you can find them everywhere. For PC games, Steam literally has Steam sales almost every week. And that's without counting the main ones like the winter or summer sale. You can find amazing games for less than $10, or games that are like 90% off. There's also GOG, which also has a lot of games, especially retro ones, but I'll probably talk about it more in another video. Now for console, don't count on Nintendo. The sales are minimal, you're lucky if you get a 10% discount. Xbox and PlayStation do have sales every now and then that are worth it. But the best sales for consoles are with the physical copies. You can go to Walmart, GameStop, eBay, Amazon, or Marketplace and you will find great discounts on used games. It appears to me that there is a massive conflict between expectations and promises. Let me explain myself. As gamers, we are always looking forward to the next big game that's gonna take up all of our time and change our life. We see a teaser, a trailer, or even a post from a studio we love, and that's it. The hype begins. We stop being rational and we start making scenarios about how the best version of this game could be. And it doesn't help that the developers are promising the world to us and saying that it's the best game they've ever worked on. It's an open world like you've never seen before, or a new technology that they are using. Players want the game to succeed, and developers too. But then all the minds converge in an idealistic idea of what the game will be. As players, we pre-order the game and we play day one expecting to have our minds blown. And the developers are too confident because they've had amazing feedback prior to the release. But the problem is that this positive energy is driving the investors to push the game to be released as soon as possible rather than as finished as possible. Gamers spend their money, the game doesn't meet their unrealistic expectations, and not all the devs are taking the negative feedback well. In art, critique is supposed to drive you to do better, not turn yourself against the person you're making this art for. All of this could be avoided if gamers were more patient, either before release or after, and wait for it to go on sale. The hype goes a little down, and the game can be seen in a better way. Now let me be clear, some games are trash, and nothing can be done for it to be fixed because the idea was doomed at the first place. We're seeing a newer group of patient gamers that are not forcing themselves to play new games anymore. They just wait until it's on sale. They enjoy the games they already have without the stress and the guilt of not enjoying something they've just bought at $100. And I strive to be part of them. One thing I've been a witness of in the past couple years is gamers deciding that if they can't get the game they dream of, then they'll make it themselves. These days, making your own game and becoming a game developer has never been more accessible. With platforms like Unreal, Unity, and Godot or Blender, and the insane amount of tutorials on YouTube, you can easily get started in your journey to become a game dev. It's not easy, trust me, I know it. But it's so fulfilling working towards something that you've always been a spectator of. A lot of big live service projects we are seeing have been in development for a while and are all coming out at the same time, and it does feel like gaming is collapsing sometimes, but it's all temporary. I think all this negativity we're hearing nowadays will have a real impact in the future of modern gaming. We're about to see studios scaling down, more realistic budget, and production time and better final product. Some studios may just crash and die, but the ones that learn from their mistakes and the ones that were waiting for it to happen to make a move still have a chance to make gaming great again. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any feedback or anything, I'm all ears. And if you want to, you could subscribe or like. Or if you don't want to, just do your thing. And thank you. So have a nice day.